Hi. Before going to video, please subscribe to my channel for more interesting stuff.
Story from r/paranormal. Posted by u/figmental95. Voices and footsteps. I'm a healthcare worker who has worked in a few residential homes. These experiences take place in the last home I worked in. It was a new build, currently only been open 2 years, and these took place over the course of last year. The building spanned over 3 floors, the bottom being residential, which had no one on it, the staff room, laundry, changing rooms and kitchen. The middle residential, nursing, bistro, reception and offices for manager, deputy etc. The top was out dementia unit. We had 60 beds but only had 19 residents as we were still quite new and slowly filling our beds. Each floor had their own dining room and lounge. I wasn't the only one to have experienced things here, but these are mine. 1. I was working the night shift, 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., and it was the first one I'd done there. I was on the dementia unit and it got to about 2 a.m. All the residents were asleep, so I let my colleague know that I was going to refill the bowls ready for breakfast and headed to the kitchen. I went in and went to grab the bowls when I heard a female, clear as day, say hello in my ear. Not expecting it, I screamed and ran back to the top floor. I'd forgotten the bowls. Realizing how dumb I was, I went back down, grabbed the bowls and tried to debunk it by seeing if the kitchen door had made a sound that I mistook for a voice. It didn't. When I saw the chef next, I asked her about it and she told me that she always heard voices. In the morning it was a male, in the evening it was female. Never heard it again. 2. It was about 6:30 in the evening, nearly the end of my day shift. I was on the top floor and everyone had gone to bed. They like to go early. The corridor lights were sensor lights and had gone off. I was sat at the nurse's station, which is basically a desk in the corridor, with my colleague, and we both heard a noise coming from the corridor to the right of us. It sounded like a chair scraping across the lino floor. There were only bedrooms that way, so I went and had a look. The corridor lights were off and no one was there. There was no chair at all. I walked back, puzzled. I heard it again about 5 minutes later, but she didn't. Again, nothing there. Then we hear a door slam down the left and footsteps. I looked round the corner and see that the maintenance room had a light shining under the door, but the courser lights were off. I walked down and the door was locked. The lights turned on as I went. Couldn't explain it, but had I both freaked out. Safe to say, as soon as the night staff came up, we ran out of there. 3rd, and final experience. Again, it was a night shift I was on. I was sat at the nurse's station on the middle floor. In front of the desk there was the lounge, cleaner's store and a bedroom. The guy was fast asleep, you could hear him snoring away. The nurse came and sat with me and we started going through paperwork. All of a sudden we look up and the bedroom door slams shut. We look at each other and I went up to the door, opened it. He was still sound asleep in bed, hadn't moved at all. I checked to see if the windows were open, but they were all shut. The door won't move on its own and it looked and sounded like someone stood there and slammed it. All that night we heard footsteps up and down those corridors, but no one was awake. I left that place in February of this year and am working in another new build residential home. Just waiting for it to start here too. Story from r/paranormal. Posted by u/Andrew Luck. Didn't. Something terrifying happened when I was around 9 years old. Backstory: my family decided to start fresh and move to a different state after losing our business to bankruptcy. At this point, I was entering 2nd grade and was just a typical kid. Never had any mental issues or paranormal experiences prior, let alone did I think God existed. The new house. The house was a 1-floor plan with a basement. It also had a nice spacious backyard that was fenced off. Oddly enough, it was located in between a restaurant and barber shop, which I thought was fascinating as a kid, thinking I'd get unlimited haircuts and free food. Looking back on it, I'm always like, WTF was the logic behind making this damn house here? My older sister and I shared a fairly large room together. Adjacent to our door was a slide-to-open mirror closet that took up most of the wall. The incident. About a week after settling in, school had already started and it was a typical morning before school. I finished up in the bathroom and began making my way to the kitchen. As I was passing by the open door of our room, I glanced over at the closet mirror and noticed a dark figure. I stopped to see what it was and recognized my sister. She was standing there wearing all black and applying makeup, but something was off. I vividly remember black ripped jeans, black jacket with little shiny spikes on the shoulders, pale color skin, applying black lipstick. I remember feeling what I presumed to be this dark/negative energy for the first time in my life, but also just confusion about what I had seen, just cause I had never seen my sister wear black, let alone all black. As I walk into the kitchen, I felt the air suck out of my lungs and my knees felt like they were gonna buckle. My sister was sitting at the dining table eating breakfast while laughing and talking with our mom. She wasn't wearing all black. She didn't even have makeup on. After standing there frozen in place, I slowly made my way back down the hallway, flipping every light switch on the way back to our room. No, that thing wasn't there. Conclusion/what happened after. I can't say for sure if paranormal activity is to blame or my creative child mind hallucinating, but it was terrifying to see that thing in such detail that I still remember it like yesterday, and it was almost 15 years ago. I remember the basement was creepy, straight out of a horror movie with a trapdoor entrance. Nobody really went down there alone, always paired up, but it was basically empty at all times. I had one other incident happen where I felt like I was being chased by something in that same house, and when I ran out the backyard door my dog was waiting for me growling behind me, but nothing was there. I've had nothing like this happen to me after we moved a year or two later. My sister's best friend was super religious, Catholic, and insisted that I had a gift and basically tried to convert me unsuccessfully. I went to church a few times with them but never felt like it was for me. I am genuinely curious what people think this might be. I'm someone who tries to see the logical side of things, but I'd think about this, maybe the house was haunted? It would have been reassuring if my family also have similar experiences, but they all agreed that something about the house's energy felt off/wrong. Story from r/paranormal. Posted by u/chikoi. Speaking backwards. Sorry for the mistakes, I'm not English. Since I'm a child, I can speak and write backwards, and it amazes everyone in my entourage. What I mean by speaking backwards is that, for instance, instead of saying I love pizza, I'll say as if evil I. I speak it without even thinking about the words in my head, just as if it was my main language. I did a lot of researches about it, but never find something interesting. I also never met someone able to do it too. I think backwards, don't know how to say it, hope you'll understand what I mean, too a lot, and when I speak to myself, yes, I do it a lot, I instinctively do it backwards. I'm a huge spirits believer. And I notice that when I speak backwards, strange things seem to happen to me. I'll told you a story that happened on the Christmas period, 2 years ago. I was cleaning my living room, and speaking to myself at the same time. At this time of my life, I wanted so badly to see a paranormal thing. I was acting as if there were spirits in my home and I was talking to them. A part of me believed there was, a part of me believed there wasn't. I lived with my mom and my sister, but because they were often at work, I was always alone after school. I guess that the scared part of me about ghosts etc. pushed me to provoke them, just to reassure me there was no maleficent spirits with me. So, this particular day, I was really happy and talking backwards to myself and the spirits. I was saying things like, hello, are you here? If you are here, say hi. I was expecting to receive no answers, as always. But while I was cleaning the TV, I heard a huge noise behind me. I screamed. At the other end of the living room, there was the Christmas tree. I was scared, but I walked to see what happened. My mom, my sister and I had a personalized Christmas ornament. I'll try to describe it. It was a sort of glass bowl with water and our name on it. So when I arrived next to the Christmas tree, I noticed a lot of water and pieces of glass. And what makes me feel really afraid was when I saw a little piece of paper just behind my foot, with my name on it. There is no way my ornament could have fallen just like that. I didn't touch the Christmas tree, I was at the other end of the room. It was a really scary moment. It's hard to explain it, or describe it. I was so scared I almost cried, saying I would not provoke them again. Now I still speak backwards, but I don't provoke spirits/things anymore. The main reason I wrote my story here is to see if some people share the same experience, and mostly if some people can also speak backwards and experience paranormal things. Thank you for reading me, and sorry again for the mistakes, I know I have to improve my English. Story from r/paranormal. Posted by u/prouds. We are followed because of me. Hi, first of all I'm new to Reddit and I hope that I'm making this post correctly, and if not I'm sorry. Second of all, I might make some spelling mistakes because my first language is actually French. So, hi. My family, my sister, her boyfriend, my mom and my stepdad, has lived all together in an old house since 2009 in Canada. We never had any problems in this house and we never had any paranormal problems in our separate lives. My sister has always seen people that we thought had nothing to do with ghosts since she has Tourette syndrome and tends to have imaginary friends. For my part, I've always been different and people would often tell me I wasn't a happy kid. I would be terrified of sleeping because I would always have bad and weird dreams. Growing up, I understood that I had always had lucid dreams mostly every day. I began to have astral projections, sleep paralysis and premonitory dreams. Anyways, you don't have to believe me about it, but I want to give you as many details that I can because I need some serious help. 4 or 5 years ago, people would tell my family that when they would come over, they would see people around the house. My sister would also tell my mom that she saw people around too. One day, I was in my kitchen and my sister called me from the bathroom. I was really mad at her because I couldn't properly hear her because I was using the microwave. My sister came back in the kitchen and told me that she wasn't even talking to me. My mom decided after a few months of weird crap happening to call the pastor. Since then, they have exorcised my house 3 to 4 times. I developed a disease called psychogenic non-epileptic seizures, and I often have seizures relatively close to the paranormal episodes that are coming. 3 or 4 months ago, I had a dream. I was in a field with a man. I could see every detail of the man's skin, etc. It was not a normal dream. I saw a tall black figure and I told the man to back up. The black thing came really slow and at one point, I ate it. I woke up in tears, my body was dripping in sweat, and I even woke up my boyfriend, who was sleeping at my house, because it was so intense. I couldn't sleep anymore. It was really early, like 4 in the morning. I went to an esoteric shop because I was afraid and I felt different. The lady practically jumped on me as I was walking in the store with my mom. She wouldn't even let my mom speak for me because I was so scared and ashamed. She told me that I was the biggest canal she had ever seen and that something was after me. She gave me her personal information and told me to call her when I would be ready. I was always afraid, so I have never made a call back. Anyways, it has been a few weeks since we started having the worst time in our house. Doors open and close, we are always watching, we all wake up at 3 in the morning, my dogs are getting crazy, we see black figures everywhere and we are not feeling safe. Since it is quarantine, we can't call anyone to help us out and we have no idea on what we should do because nothing is working. Please send us your advices. If you have any questions that would maybe give you more information, or I don't know, comment and I will respond to the best of my capacities. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe for more videos.